Hello, everyone.
Hey guys! So today for our video we're going to talk about sexuality and what it is.
Yeah, we just kind of want to broaden the horizons on what people mean when they say sexuality, because I think a lot of times the conversation is just kind of limited to gay and straight.
Yeah, so it's pretty contrived, and we have a paradigm for you that could help you understand the many different realms that sexuality has to offer. So, on this paradigm we have sexual identity, sexual culture, and sexual practice. And I apologize for the printing because I had to write it backwards.
So the first one that we're going to kind of talk about is sexual identity. And that's basically, to kind of put it simply, is your orientation. It's how you view yourself as an individual. We believe, we know that it's a born this way situation. It's not a choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's biological and born this way. I'm sure we've all heard that recently. And so, for example, I identify as a gay man, and that is my sexual orientation.
And I identify as a bisexual woman.
So that brings us to our next one, which is sexual practice.
And that's basically your sexual activity. So that could mean how often,
Who with, how many people,
if you want to do it,
what you're into, fetishes, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, sexual practice does not determine your sexual identity.
Yeah. Like, for example, if you were to take a gay man and he were to have sex with a bunch of women, he would still be gay. And you could also take a straight woman and have her have sex with a bunch of women, and she would still be straight. So again, it's linking back to that born this way sort of argument that it doesn't really matter who you have sex with or not, because at the end of the day, you know who you are.
Yeah. And using a very common reference, and I'm sure all of you guys can relate to that, is looking at two high school girls, for example, that are experimenting with one another, and a lot of the time it's pretty open because it's kind of more accepted by society and almost praised, so they're not made to hide it in any way, shape, or form. But those two girls are never going to be looked at, and no one's going to be like, you two are lesbians or bisexual. They're just going to assume that they're two straight girls, maybe bisexual, who are just having a good time and experimenting sexually. And that's all it should be for two guys as well. It should just be two guys experimenting with their sexual practices and activity.
Totally. And we really believe and endorse experimentation as long as it's consensual, safe, and it's something that you want to do.
Yeah. Just as long as you've consented within yourself,
yeah,
that you feel it's okay, that's awesome. And we're not saying you have to go out and do it and it's something everyone needs to experience, because not everyone's going to want to experience these things. So if it's not even on your mind, whatever, but if it is, just go for it.
Totally. And there's really, there's nothing you can wreck. There's nothing that'll shatter your earth if you step outside the box a little bit, because you can still come back, and that's okay.
No one's going to fuck the straight out of you, so don't worry about it. Then we come to sexual culture.
Yeah, and that's basically how where you feel the most comfortable and where you relate to most within the setting of a group.
Yeah. So, for example, the LGBT group, which is way more than that. There's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, and there's also transsexual, intersex, queer questioning, two-spirited, and allies. So if I was to take the allies portion of that larger group, allies are usually composed of straight people who are supportive of the gay community and somehow relate to the gay community more than the straight community a lot of the times. I have a lot of girlfriends who much rather would go to gay clubs and have gay friends than straight clubs and be around straight people. I couldn't tell you why they think that way, but I guess they just relate better and feel more comfortable.
It's just the community that they feel the most connected to.
Right.
And sometimes that can happen because of your actual community. There may not be maybe a lot of options. I know for me, growing up in the community I grew up, there isn't a lot of options as far as experiencing a gay community, or whatever. So I think that I identify a little bit more within the straight community or heterosexual community.
Yeah, I feel I relate better and am more comfortable with the gay community. However, I can find ways to relate to the straight community as well, because I was in a lot of sports teams and I still am, and so I'm kind of adapted that way as well. And there's a lot of different subcultures within the larger cultures. So you look at gay cultures, for example, there's a whole bunch of different ones that you could fall into. There's tons. I mean, they're almost the same. The gay community, there's people who are interested in sports but identify more with gay people, and there's straight people interested in sports but identify more with straight people. I don't know. Just think of like high school cliques, and those are subcultures. Yeah, and they exist in both the gay community and straight community. That summarizes a little bit better.
Totally. And wherever you feel the most comfortable and where your friend group is a lot of times is usually where I think you kind of orient yourself.
Yeah.
And that's okay. As long as you feel comfortable, safe, and accepted, I think that that's a good thing.
Totally. So I guess we'll just conclude the video right there before we start going on tangents, which we're really good at doing.
Yeah, too good. So let us know, keep on responding, and let us know what kind of videos you'd like to see from us. And if you have any questions, please, please, please email us. And
comment section below. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
We'll email you back.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, in summary, sexual identity is your orientation. Sexual practice is what you do in the bedroom. And you know what? That could also be
not
monosexual.
Or not in the bedroom.
Yeah, not in the bedroom. But if you don't know what monosexual is, it's someone who just masturbates.
Look it up. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was just going to let them know. It's strong hands and a lot of lubricant. No. Anyways.
Or a lot of batteries.
True. Very true. And sexual culture, where you can relate best.
Yeah.
There you go. And that could be wherever. Any community, subculture, culture. There you have it. And how boring would it be if we were all the same, right?
Absolutely. God help us if we all agree.
So again, here's our paradigm. And hopefully we have more videos for you guys soon. Bye!